Everybody is ablaze right now. Everybody's wondering what is really going on with Angel Reese. Has she just flat out quit again? Has she quit on the Chicago Sky? Angel, you gotta be, hold on, you have to have some level of self-awareness here.
Angel Reese is back on that day-to-day label again. And if you followed her career even a little, you know exactly what that usually means. Last season, it was a so-called can't play through it wrist issue that ended everything early. Now, it's a mysterious back problem popping up at the worst possible time. And here's the kicker. The Chicago Sky are actually winning more when she's not on the court. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is still out there rewriting history books even while battling a very real groin injury, and she never misses a chance to suit up with her Fever squad as they push for the playoffs. So is Angel really hurt? Or are we watching the most predictable disappearing act in WNBA history play out again? And wait until you hear how she was humiliated after fans accused her of quitting on Chicago. If you're convinced this is just another carefully staged Reese PR play, then comment fire the baby giraffe down below. Let's dive in.
I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky. She's been claiming a back injury basically since the All-Star break. And there's no details. Every day we hear that Angel Reese is day to day. And every week there's no update on what she's struggling with, what she's doing. There's nothing. There's no information about Angel Reese. I think she's quit on this season. I think this is a worse version than Kawhi Leonard.
Angel Reese's day-to-day updates are starting to sound like reruns. Fans could practically predict every press release at this point. Vague wording, unexplained absences, and timing that just happens to line up with Chicago's struggles. Deja vu? Last year, it was her wrist, marketed as a devastating fracture that supposedly needed surgery right away to protect her long-term health before she even hit her prime. And just like that, season over. No fight to come back. No late push. Done.
Hey, look, bruh, you gotta remember, she quit in Unrivaled. She just stopped playing in Unrivaled. Said she was hurt, didn't show up for the championship game, didn't even show up and watch. Last season, she claimed her wrist was messed up, didn't finish playing in none of the games. Now, this year, she's saying this season, it's her back. It looked like she's not finishing playing in none of the games. The Sky needs you. The Chicago Sky, you guys are the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. They need Angel Reese to play in games. Angel, where you at? Where are you at, Angel? This is nuts.
Now we've got the sequel, this time with her back. No specifics, no clear timeline, just that it flared up right when the Sky started losing again. You can literally track it on the schedule. Losses stack up, questions start swirling, and suddenly, she's not suited up. Not on the bench. Gone. Fans are starting to joke they can predict the exact week Angel's updates quietly transform into indefinite not available notices.
Angel Reese! She might have tapped out, y'all. Angel Reese may have tapped out and quit on the Chicago Sky. Everybody is speculating. What is this back injury? What's going on? Hey, are you trying to pretend like you hurt because Caitlin Clark really is hurt? Wait. What's going on? What's going on?
The most eyebrow-raising part? She didn't even make the trip to Indianapolis to face the Fever, the WNBA matchup that sells tickets and drives headlines. This is the league's self-proclaimed it girl skipping out on the hottest rivalry of the season. But rewind a few weeks, and there she was in Indiana for the All-Star game. Laughing, posing for cameras, and even pulling that little stunt where she pretended to take over Caitlin Clark's trap. So apparently, the back works just fine when there's clout to chase, but not when she actually has to line up against Clark. Fans are connecting the dots, and the pattern isn't flattering.
She's using her back as an excuse to sit out because she doesn't really care about basketball. I think she looks over at Caitlin Clark and says, hey, Caitlin Clark is out with a legitimate injury. I proved my point before the All-Star game when I went on a 10-game run trying to justify being on the All-Star team. When that first ballot came out, when the first voting results came out about the All-Star game and I was 13th, holy cow, Angel Reese panicked, started playing hard, tried to put up some stats to justify being on the All-Star team, did that. And now she said, hey, the Chicago Sky sucked this year. Peace out.
And naturally, speculation follows. Is this about protecting her brand from another blow? Is she sidestepping high-pressure matchups that might dent her image? Because the chatter out there isn't kind. Analysts are already whispering that she's packing it in again. Some aren't even sugarcoating it. They are flat out saying she's quit.
She knew, she identified once they lost Vandersloot, their point guard, early in the year, and once they started getting their brains beat in, hey, we're not going to win anything this year. I'm not putting these L's on my resume. I'm going to have an excuse for the Chicago Sky potentially coming in with the worst or second worst record in the WNBA. These losses will not be on my resume.
2 seasons, 2 major injuries. Both hitting just as criticism around her game was reaching a peak. Both conveniently taking away the chance to see if she could grind through tough stretches and still deliver. Lay those timelines next to each other, and it doesn't just look like bad luck, it starts to look like strategy. And the most brutal part? The second she's out of the lineup, Chicago actually looks like a basketball team again. That's when this whole situation stops being suspicious and starts looking almost unbelievable.
Last year with the Chicago Sky, you quit. You quit. You threw in the towel. Once you realized you no longer, you never stood a chance, to be honest, with Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year. But once you realized your double streak was over, and it was over. She took over post-Olympic break. Once you realized it was done, you threw in the towel, said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year. You threw in the towel and said your wrist was hurting for the rest of the year and didn't play again. This past the inaugural season of Unrivaled, you didn't even finish that season. You didn't even show up for the championship. No, not only did you not play, you didn't even show up to the game at all. People noticing a pattern with you. That's 2 seasons in a row.
The Sky's win-loss record doesn't exactly scream franchise cornerstone when you connect it to Angel Reese. For someone marketed as the face of the team, the results tell a completely different story. Chicago actually plays better basketball when she's out. And this isn't some tiny sample size. It's noticeable stretches of games where the offense flows, the defense holds, and the ugly losses slow down. That's a harsh reality for a player branded as a foundational star.
Let's get it! Burn! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump. Not great! Burn!
Me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow.
Yeah! Again! Do it for me. Me bound! Burn!
Just look at what happened when Chicago met Indiana without Caitlin Clark. Everyone thought the Fever would be vulnerable with their leader sidelined. Instead, Lexi Hull steps in, drops 17 points, ends the game with a plus 22, and the Fever steamroll the Sky. This is the same Sky team that hasn't been able to figure Indiana out all year, Clark or no Clark. Hull, Boston, Mitchell, Cunningham, all of them clicked because they trust the system and don't force the game around one person's brand.
Williams gonna have to hurry off the dribble, rolls out. Oh, open 3. Oh, what a sight for Alexi Hall. She has needed that one to drop.
Alexi Hall catching fire.
Now Chicago just needs to get it a little bit more settled here in the half court. Nurse loses it. Mitchell 2-on-1. It's a foot race. Mitchell to Cunningham. Cunningham right there for 2 more.
Chemistry in basketball isn't rocket science. Either players elevate the group, or they clog it up. When Reese is sitting, Chicago's offense suddenly looks alive. The ball actually moves. Guards run the plays. Wings cut with purpose. Shots come from good ball movement instead of desperate, last-second heaves. Without the forced possessions, the team feels free.
What they do not understand is that coaches, and I know the WNBA in some regards isn't a real sports league, and I don't know if they think like real coaches and real people in sports, but the number one ability is availability. If you're not available, you have no value.
That's the definition of addition by subtraction. The irony is almost painful. Take away your supposed star, and the entire vibe improves. Analysts have pointed out the extra spacing, the uptick in pace, and even the bench energy when she's not dominating touches. And while coaches won't say it directly, their body language screams it. Chicago plays harder when every possession isn't being hijacked by one ego.
Hey, new strategy, team. Angel, keep doing your part. Everyone else, go rebound her misses. If she keeps missing layups at this rate, she's going to be serving buttermilk pancakes at Denny's. Butter? Did somebody say butter? Butter pecan! Burn! At a certain point, you just got to applaud greatness. A me-bound on her back? Are you kidding? Bang! Simon says, give me another pray-up. How about it? Bang! She really hit under the basket on a layup. Get this girl GPS. Bang! Everybody get up on your feet. It's time to meet and greet the most underpaid athlete. Bang!
That's why some fans are starting to throw around the phrase biggest hoax in WNBA history. Because a true star doesn't make your team easier to beat. They make you scarier. If your absence suddenly makes your team more dangerous, the issue isn't the roster. It's you. Chicago being more competitive without Reese is becoming harder and harder to spin, especially when you put it side by side with what's happening in Indiana. Reese disappears, Chicago scrambles. Clark shows up, Indiana levels up.
Caitlin Clark appears to have a legitimate injury that everybody can trace to a moment and a time during the games where she re-aggravated. She originally injured. She had a comeback where it lasted 2 or 3 games, re-injured it. They've hinted at a time frame of late August that she may return. Nothing but a mystery surrounds Angel Reese.
While Angel Reese fades into another round of vague injury chatter, Caitlin Clark keeps showing up. Groin injury and all, she's still in the building, still in gear when possible, still glued to her teammates, and still signing autographs for fans. This year alone she's averaging 16.5 points, nearly 9 assists, and she leads the entire league in average assists per game. Numbers that would be impressive even for a fully healthy player. And here's the kicker, those aren't empty assists. They directly flip games in Indiana's favor.
Indiana Fever destroy the Chicago Sky in Indianapolis on Saturday. Guess who wasn't there? Angel Reese. Angel Reese declined to travel to Indianapolis, and her coach came out and said something about, she's just focused on her rehab right now, and, she's day to day. We've never had an explanation on what caused the back injury, what's a time frame for her recovery. It's similar to so-and-so's back injury. This is something she struggled with here or there. All we've heard is day to day, and Angel Reese has disappeared.
The injury hasn't slowed her history-making pace either. And unlike certain stars who seem to vanish at the first sign of trouble, Clark is right there traveling with her team. She's on the bench breaking down plays, hyping teammates, and staying in the fight whether she's cleared to play or not. That's the type of commitment you can see, and more importantly, her teammates feel it every night.
I'm proud of this group. I think we've shown all season long, they're resilient, they're connected, they pull for each other, they enjoy one another. They celebrate one another, and that stuff alone is good for 10 to 12 points a game. And for this group, the way that they share the ball, how unselfish they are. I'm really proud of them. It's not been ideal circumstances all season long, but they've shown the character of who they are. They've been resilient. They've responded to adversity, and they continue to elevate one another. And I couldn't be more proud of this group than I am at this moment.
And the proof? Indiana is 4-0 against Chicago this season. Whether Clark suits up or not, the Fever always have the upper hand. But it's not just Clark. Aaliyah Boston continues to lock down the paint. Kelsey Mitchell provides a reliable scoring punch. Sophie Cunningham brings toughness. Lexi Hull shines in big minutes. Natasha Howard delivers veteran leadership that most squads would beg for. Together, they are building something real around Clark's vision of the game.
Folks, yet again, the Indiana Fever face the Chicago Sky, and yet again, we whoop that. Oh boy. 92-70. It was a whole party.
Clark has made it clear she's not chasing just one championship. She's thinking dynasties. And you can see it in how she meshes with the roster. That's why ratings skyrocket when she plays. Viewership dips when she sits. Contrast that with Reese. When she disappears, no one outside Chicago even notices. Her absences don't move national numbers. Clark's absolutely do. And that consistency highlights the gap even more. Clark is showing up through pain, hype, and setbacks. Reese's vanishing act doesn't just look bad, it makes Clark's reliability shine brighter. If marketing once tried to sell this rivalry as even, the reality on the floor has blown that out of the water.
What is the back injury? Everybody's questioning it now, and this will be a third straight season where Angel Reese did not finish playing in games, where she just stopped. She just stopped. Some of these injuries, we saw the injuries. We didn't see what happened. What happened? This is bad.
The contrast between franchises is brutal. Chicago spins its wheels in drama, inconsistency, instability, and heavy branding around a player who spends as much time on the sidelines as in uniform. Meanwhile, Indiana is stacking smart pieces. They are not chasing desperate patchwork. They are building a roster that can win now and grow stronger together. Boston keeps evolving. Mitchell's a bucket. Cunningham and Howard give the toughness and experience Clark needs. Lexi Hull is pure hustle. It's a balanced foundation with championship upside.
I think it just says a lot about who we have as human beings. That was one of the things that we made a priority in the offseason of, who we bring into this organization. Number one, quality human beings, selfless human beings that want to pull for one another, that understand. We have this depth for a reason, and sometimes it creates challenges getting people on the floor. But in situations like this is why you have it. And I'm just, she's right. I mean, as a pro and as a pro coach, this is one of the most connected groups I've seen.
And that mix of youth and veterans is no accident. It's a strategy. Clark's playmaking is breaking records, but it's also unlocking her teammates' strengths. The system is fast, efficient, and dangerous. While Chicago burns energy managing drama, Indiana is building a foundation that feels unstoppable. Every Reese injury mystery only throws Clark's impact into sharper focus. Fans see exactly who's stepping up and who's stepping out. And if you care about the future of the W, Indiana is the team to watch. They've got the talent, the chemistry, and a leader who refuses to disappear when it gets tough. So the real question is, are you backing the players who are building a legacy, or the ones clinging to a brand? Indiana's making progress. Chicago's making excuses. The answer's obvious. If you think this is all just another Reese PR stunt, then comment fire the baby giraffe down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the drama. Click the next video on your screen. I'll meet you there.